talking a little bit about Britain. Now, back in the 19th and 20th centuries, Britain was essentially the superpower of the world, which I'll get into in a little bit. Nowadays, Britain is just another group of countries wandering around the world. What I'm going to focus on in this presentation are the geography of Britain, and I'm also going to compare its educational system to that of the United States. So let's begin with the geography of Britain. Now, back when Britain was at the height of its power, about the 1920s, it controlled about 1/5 of the population of the world, which was about 20 million, and it also controlled about 33 million square kilometers of the globe. The reason this empire collapsed was because of World War II. Due to the massive repair bills that were required by England to repair its capital, it couldn't keep up the upkeep of maintaining many of these third world countries, so basically just left them. Also, countries fought for their independence in the event of India, for example. Now, Britain is made up of Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales. The south of Ireland today is still controlled by the Irish government. Now, Great Britain is basically an island nation, so its coastline stretched for about 7,700 miles. According to the CIA World Factbook, in the census of July 2012, it was shown that the United Kingdom had a population of roughly 63 million people. Now, the official religion of Britain is the Church of England. That is basically Christianity, and the King or the Queen of England is the head of this organization. Now, I'm going to move on to the educational system, but first let's quickly just begin with the American system. Like many of you, I grew up with the American system, so I find no difference with it. But for my parents who were born in England, they find it confusing and strange. School here is separated into 3 categories, which is elementary, middle, and high school. Roughly 77% of students graduate from high school, and after high school we go into college, like we are right now, for about 4 years, to further our education. In an article from the Daily Sunday, it was stated that 46% of students graduate from college. Now, even though we speak the same language, the schooling system in England is very different. One of the few differences is that school in England is separated into 4 sections. While it's separated into 3 sections here, it's separated into 4 in England. The first section is ages 5 to 6. The second stage would be ages 7 to 10. The third stage is ages 11 to 14. And the fourth stage is ages 15 to 16. About 91% of students finish the 4th stage. One other difference is that once you reach the age of 16, you go out into the workplace. You are eligible to leave school. However, if you decide not to go into the workplace, you can take a test called the GCSE, the General Central Secondary Examination, which can be mandatory in all these countries. In an interview with my mom, she basically explained to me what the GCSE is. GCSE is something that allows you to go into a program called the Sixth Form, which is an optional portion of school designed to prepare students for university. You can take these courses either in your school or at the college of your choosing. There are 2 types, the lower and upper 6th. You get into one of these depending on how well you did on the GCSE. My mom was in the upper 6th part, and she said it was some of the hardest schooling she had ever done in her life. Now, the benefit of this is that you have a good chance of being accepted to a university of your choosing. So, today, even though I was born in England, the system in England seems, honestly, alien to me. Which, like I said before, is opposite of my parents. I have to basically go home and talk to them every day, talk to them about what the difference between American schooling and British schooling is. Because even today, after I've been here for about 13 years, they still do not understand it. So I hope you've learned a little bit about the educational system in England, and now maybe in a conversation with someone from these countries, you might understand them a little better.